Think you're wealthy because there's $1 million in your account? Don't pop the champagne just yet. Look at Lebanon or Venezuela, where $1 million recently became the price of a single roll of the scratchiest toilet paper money can buy. History has a brutal track record. Paper currency isn't an asset. It's a pinky promise from a government. And when that promise breaks, you're left holding expensive wallpaper. Today, we're stripping down to the 5 immortal assets that survive a death currency spiral and naming the ones that will leave you broke overnight. Watch closely, because the money printer doesn't wait for anyone. The billion-dollar bread loaf. Let's do some sarcastic math. During hyperinflation, currency loses value faster than a supercar loses its bumper. In 1923 Germany, a loaf of bread cost 200 billion marks. If we adjust that to today's USD purchasing power, it's like walking into a bakery and being told a loaf of sourdough costs $100 billion. Imagine wheeling a literal truck full of cash just to buy some milk. But by the time you reach the front of the line, the clerk casually wipes off the old price and adds another $20 billion just because you walked too slowly. 12 minutes of waiting, you've lost the equivalent of a tech billionaire's net worth. Sound like a fairy tale? Look at Lebanon in 2023. Their currency lost 98% of its value in just 4 years. A doctor who spent a lifetime saving what was once $50,000 woke up to find their purchasing power had shriveled to $1,000. The numbers in the bank stayed the same, but the retirement dream was effectively euthanized. History shows the average lifespan of a fiat currency is only about 27 years. The US dollar as we know it has been running since 1971, meaning it's already living on borrowed time. The question isn't if it collapses, but when. A currency collapse is never a freak accident. It's a meticulously choreographed tragedy in 5 acts that every financial wizard in history knows by heart. Take a look at your own wallet and try to guess which step we're on. Stage 1. The party on someone else's tab. The government starts spending like a trust fund kid with a stolen credit card on projects that sound prestigious but leave the treasury empty. When the spending exceeds the income, instead of cutting back like a normal person, they choose the classy route, borrowing. Stage 2. The money printer cheat code. When the debt piles up like a mountain and nobody is foolish enough to lend them more, the government hits the print button. This is when crisp, new bills are born. But they don't bring actual value, they just bring empty promises. The more money they pull out of thin air, the more they dilute the value of the dollars you're working 60 hours a week to earn. Stage 3. The price marathon. Now, the market is flooded with cash, but the amount of actual stuff to buy hasn't changed. The result? Prices started a frantic dance. You still have that $100 bill, but today it buys a whole chicken. Next week it buys a chicken wing, and by next month, you're lucky if it buys a single feather. Your purchasing power is being surgically removed by the government. Stage 4. The Great Escape. People aren't stupid forever. They realize that holding the local currency is like holding a hot potato. Everyone starts dumping cash for anything with real value. Gold, strong foreign currencies, or even stocking up on canned tuna. The faster people try to get rid of the money, the faster its value vanishes. Stage 5. Clinical death. Trust collapses completely. The money still exists on paper, and the numbers might even have more zeros, but in the real world, it's dead. People go back to the Stone Age, bartering a chicken for a bag of rice or a bottle of whiskey for a pack of medicine. The financial system is officially 6 feet under. When you look at the U.S. national debt, exceeding $38 trillion and interest payments costing more than the entire military budget, do you smell which stage we're approaching? When the rules of money are rewritten overnight, only those who recognize the pattern survive the purge. The first asset on the immortal list is the one governments love to hate, yet central banks can't stop hoarding: gold and silver. Think of it as history's cold, hard math. If you held German mark paper notes in 1923, you lost 100% of your wealth and ended up using your life savings as kindling for the fireplace. But if you held gold, your purchasing power remains virtually untouched. An ounce of gold bought a high-quality tailored suit 100 years ago, and it still does today. Currencies add zeros and die, but gold doesn't do drama. Why is gold so stubborn? Because it doesn't require a government's pinky promise to be valuable, and most important, no politician can summon it out of a printer. When the Mugabe regime in Zimbabwe printed $100 trillion bills, the kind of money shopkeepers wouldn't even accept for a piece of gum. Those holding gold were the only ones still eating. Look at Turkey in late 2024 and early 2025 as inflation began breakdancing on the lira. Gold accounts in banks nearly doubled in a single quarter. The people there understand the law of the land. When the money in your pocket starts burning, run to the golden vault. The biggest mistake people make is treating gold like a get-rich-quick scheme. In reality, gold does absolutely nothing. It doesn't pay dividends, it doesn't innovate, and it has a terrible marketing department. Its only function on its most powerful one is that it cannot be debased. While fiat USD is being pumped out so fast it's diluted like a cup of coffee with 10 gallons of water, the supply of gold remains stubbornly scarce. In the 2008 crash, gold jumped 166% in less than 3 years. Silver went even crazier, skyrocketing 448%. Precious metals won't make you a billionaire overnight, but they are the thin line between surviving the storm and being erased from the financial map. When your home currency starts base jumping without a parachute, the most practical lifeboat is holding the strong currency of someone else. This isn't a lack of patriotism. It's basic financial self-defense. Just look at the tragedy in Lebanon to see the difference between financial heaven and hell. Imagine you're a hard-working professional with $50,000 worth of savings in a local bank. For over 20 years, the Lebanese pound has been pegged to the US dollar, creating a fake sense of security like a calm lake right before a massive dam bursts. But when that peg snapped, the disaster was so fast, nobody could blink. By 2025, the exchange rate skyrocketed to 89,000 pounds per dollar. Your life savings, if kept in local currency, were suddenly worth only $1,000. Congratulations. You just lost 98% of your life's work because you trusted a dying currency. Meanwhile, if you had kept that $50,000 in physical greenbacks or a Swiss bank, your purchasing power would have remained untouched. This script plays out everywhere. From Zimbabwe to Venezuela, citizens have performed a spontaneous dollarization. They dump their local currency faster than a bad habit. In Argentina, even real estate is priced in USD because nobody has the courage to hold a suitcase full of pesos that might lose its value before the ink on the contract dries. In Cambodia, ATMs don't even bother with local currency. They spit out crisp US dollars. But here's the cold, hard truth. When the crisis gets real, governments love to build fences. They'll limit withdrawals, ban currency exchanges, and freeze the banking system to keep their prey inside. The lesson: don't wait for the bank doors to slam shut before you look for dollars, euros, or Swiss francs. Having a basket of strong foreign currencies ready today is how you buy insurance for a tomorrow that might never come for everyone else. In a currency storm, access to foreign cash is the line between keeping your wealth and being deleted from the economic map. This is where most people get it backwards. It's the definitive line between a market amateur and a financial silver fox. The common logic says, if the economy is collapsing, stocks must be trashed. But look at Venezuela in 2024. While the country was in the ICU, the Caracas stock market exploded by over 3,400%. By early 2026, in just 9 trading sessions, the main index rocketed from 2,000 to over 6,000 points. How does that make sense? It's simple. A stock isn't just a blinking number on a screen. It's ownership of real assets. When you own shares in a manufacturing company, you own the factories, the machinery, the land, and the inventory. The currency can lose its value, but a textile machine or a food processing plant still has intrinsic worth. As the exchange rate spirals, the nominal price of these assets climbs just to keep up with inflation. In this scenario, stocks act as a container that keeps your wealth from melting along with the currency. But don't just buy any ticker symbol. In a crisis, there's a brutal survival of the fittest. 2 types of companies win. First, the exporters. They earn revenue in strong foreign currencies like USD, while their labor and local costs are paid in a dying local currency. It's the ultimate unfair advantage. International stays high while their real-world revenue costs drop to pennies. Second, essential infrastructure. The stuff people literally cannot live without, no matter how broke they are. On the flip side, run away from companies that rely entirely on domestic customers and imported raw materials. They get squeezed from both sides. Their costs skyrocket with the dollar, but their customers have no money left to pay higher prices. Lessons from the 1994 Mexican peso crisis and the 1998 Asian crash are clear. Those holding equity in productive businesses with international reach didn't just survive, they became the new elite when the dust settled. When the financial system officially unplugs the life support, a cold reality sets in. The numbers in your bank account are just digital hallucinations, and only what you can touch, hold, and use becomes king. Welcome to the barter economy, where value isn't found in the faces of presidents, printed on paper, but in the actual utility of the object in your hand. Take a look at post-World War II Germany. The mark was so worthless that people literally used it to wallpaper their rooms or light their stoves because it was cheaper than actual firewood. In that chaos, cigarettes suddenly became the universal currency. Why? Because they check every box of a perfect money: divisible, non-perishable, lightweight, easy to transport, and most importantly, everyone accepts them. A U.S. soldier back then could use a few packs of smokes to buy priceless antiques or services that would have cost thousands of dollars just months prior. This isn't just a history book anecdote. In Venezuela 2018, when ATMs became street art because the cash they spit out wasn't enough to buy a single piece of candy, people went back to the Stone Age. Fishermen traded their catch for flour and mechanics accepted payment in liters of gasoline or cooking oil. In the acute phase of a collapse, everyday items like batteries, candles, antibiotics, soap, or even no-joke toilet paper become more valuable than diamonds. You can't eat gold, and you certainly can't use a stock certificate to treat a fever when the pharmacy is shuttered. But let's be real here. This is a tactical asset class for survival, not a long-term strategy for building a legacy. Nobody builds an investment portfolio out of 1,000 bars of soap. The smart move is to always maintain a small buffer of essential goods for your family to last a few months. Think of it as a financial first aid kit. You hope you never have to use it, but if the big one hits, it will help you maintain your dignity and health while everyone else is scrambling in the dark. The final immortal asset is the one that never loses its core purpose, but requires the most patient scent, a bit of luck: farmland. While luxury condos in the city become a liability because tenants can't pay rent that keeps up with inflation, a patch of dirt that produces food is the ultimate insurance policy for your stomach. History's Great Depression shows a recurring theme. When the money evaporates, the city dwellers stand in mile-long breadlines, while families with arable land become self-sufficient. They have milk from the cow, eggs from the chicken, and veggies from the garden. Farmland isn't just an asset. It's a life support factory that no money printer can replicate. In Venezuela, those holding productive land could trade surplus crops for luxury items, making them the new power brokers in a broken society. But don't rush to buy a tractor just yet. Farmland has two Achilles heels. First, zero liquidity. Can't roll up your garden and hop on a plane to another country when things get ugly. Second, it's a goal. Governments love to redistribute or tax the hell out of land when they're desperate. Look at Zimbabwe in 2000. The government seized commercial farms without a cent of compensation, and land value disappeared overnight. The lesson? Farmland is a great bunker if it's held through a solid legal structure or located in a jurisdiction that actually respects property rights. The kill list: assets that will become expensive trash. Beyond knowing what to buy, you need to know what to dump faster than a bad habit. First on the list, fixed income instruments and local currency. If you're holding government bonds in a collapsing currency, you're basically playing sugar daddy to a money printing addict. You lend them the value of a car, and they'll pay you back with enough cash to buy a toy wheel. Congratulations on your accidental act of charity. Second, local currency savings accounts. This is the sweetest trap of all. The bank sends you happy birthday emails, while their 5% interest rate gets eaten alive by 100% inflation. The numbers in your account stay the same, but their purchasing power evaporates faster than dry ice in the sun. Holding local cash is like trying to keep an ice cube in a microwave. It's not a strategy. It's a tragedy. Final verdict: the survival portfolio. Financial history has no mercy for those who blindly trust promises on paper. Real diversification isn't having 5 different bank accounts. It's holding real value that pushes back against the printer. A smart, collapse-proof portfolio needs the shine of gold as insurance, lifeboat of foreign currency, money machines in the form of productive stocks, and a fortress of land if you can swing it. Don't wait until $100 billion only buys you a stick of gum. Subscribe to Bob Scripley now so you don't become the next cautionary tale in a future finance textbook. I'm Bob Scripley, staying sharp so you stay wealthy.